always told. I never believed it. That's what people say when they don't know how to help you. They talk to me like I'm a weak little child. I've gone through more in my 19 years than most people have gone through in a lifetime.
Welcome to our hell.
I was a very active kid. I was constantly moving, whether it be Irish step dancing, playing volleyball, or acting on stage. But when I was in 7th grade, I started having severe leg pains. I would wake up in the middle of the night screaming. The doctor told me it was growing pains or gas pains. But this pain made everything impossible. Then I started getting lost in school. I found myself standing in the hallway totally unaware of where I was.
Welcome to our hell. That was our welcome into the Lyme community. I can't even begin to tell you how depressing those Lyme disease support groups were.
I remember the exact day I was diagnosed with Lyme disease, December 18th, 2009. I didn't know what to think, but I didn't think it was a big deal. I was wrong.
Yeah. But I decided then and there to combat this disease with positivity. I believe in order to defeat any illness, you have to stay positive. You have to cling to hope and faith. That's ultimately what gets you through the day-to-day. But I had no idea what a lonely road I was on. I was so naive.
It was my grandmother's doctor across the country who suggested that I got tested for Lyme disease because I had been bitten by a tick the spring before. We asked the doctors to test me. They said no, you don't have Lyme disease. They were so sure I didn't have it. We had to beg and beg for me to get tested. We needed answers. I needed help. Fine, we'll test her, but she doesn't have Lyme.
3 days later, the doctor calls. She's positive. Okay, so what's next?
I was put on a pill for 30 days. The month passed and I was still sick. My mom called the doctors and asked,
Okay, she's worse, so what now? Nothing? That's it?
That's it. One cycle of antibiotics is supposed to cure me. Well, it didn't. Things started to get worse. I started having seizures. I had to drop out of school and get homeschooled.
We found a new doctor who specialized in Lyme disease, but she wanted to put Michaelin on a PICC-line IV. She was nervous because Michaelin was so young.
A PICC-line IV is a tube they insert right here, and it goes all the way to my heart so the antibiotics can go straight into my system. The tube stayed in there for 2 months. It changed my life. That summer, I was cured. I got to go back to school for 8th grade, and life was perfect. I was the captain of my volleyball team, I joined a rock band, and I even started dancing again.
It did work. We stayed positive, we fought together, and we won. We were so excited to see Michaelin thrive that 8th grade year.
At the 8th grade graduation party, I got bit by another tick.
Oh no. The moment she got bit by that second tick, I began to feel totally defeated. The protocol for Lyme patients and Lyme treatment is 30 days of antibiotics. On a well-known antibiotic that is given out like candy when treating acne. But when I asked for it, for a tick bite, a well-known cause of Lyme disease, in a Lyme epidemic area,
one pill was all they gave me. Not one treatment, one pill.
When were you ever given one pill of antibiotic for anything? I called the doctor and said, there's a mistake. Nope, no mistake. One pill, one dose.
The summer was okay. I was a little moody and leg pains were back, but I kept quiet and I didn't tell my parents. When high school started in the fall, everything changed. I began to lose touch with reality.
Then my true hell began.
I distanced myself from my family. I would ditch class, sneak out at night, hanging with the wrong crowd. I started drinking, smoking, doing drugs, and having sex way too young. I got so depressed, I'd sit in my room in the dark listening to really depressing music. I started cutting myself. I thought about suicide all the time, staying up at night writing suicide letters. With my first bout of Lyme disease, we fought it off with positivity. But this time was different, and I blamed myself.
I blamed myself. Seeing your child suffer like that and having no control was devastating. I ached. I missed her. The child I knew was gone. I hated the music. I hated the boys. And the cutting terrified me. But I loved her with all my heart. I prayed. How I prayed.
This lasted 2 years. My parents finally found out from a school counselor. They took me out of school again, and my mom couldn't bear seeing me like this. She was determined to save me.
I would get enough answers to get me through the next day. And all through this, I held on to two strong beliefs. 1, love conquers all. And 2, family is eternal. And together, there is power. But I felt so alone.
That's when we met Deep Saran, a very wise Indian man who founded this school with only 30 kids.
I found the perfect private school and drained all our bank accounts.
Deep saved my life.
And it was worth every penny.
Without that school, I wouldn't be here. I made so many new friends. I was happy with life because there were people who understood what I was going through. Within 1 month, my GPA went from a 1.7 to a 3.6. I felt smart and I began to feel hopeful. I had something to live for. When my symptoms would act up again, Deep would say to me, "Michaelin, your health always comes before school." Everyone at that school, they just got it, and I started to live up to my potential.
Then, the unimaginable happened. My worst nightmare. My son, my baby Caden, began developing the same symptoms. And I knew it was Lyme. I knew it. But no one would listen to me. So fighting for a diagnosis again. Only now I'm managing 2 children with Lyme disease and all the random symptoms. Seizures, depression, dizziness, weakness,
Try and find normalcy in any given day.
brain fog, loss of memory, loss of cognitive ability,
Reading and math skills
gone. Constantly worrying, how much do I push? How much do I comfort and reassure? Am I doing the right thing? Fight. Every day, fight. Find alternative treatments, marital stress, anxiety. How can I forget anxiety? Debilitating, self-injuring anxiety.
If that wasn't enough, then came more bad news. We had to move. My father got a job across country in California. I was finally happy. I found a place where I fit in, and now I had to leave it all. In 11th grade, I was worse than I had ever been. I started cutting again, in places no one could see this time.
One of my loneliest times was the day after we sold our house of 16 years, our home, our safe haven. My husband was working across country. Michaelin was in the depths of depression. I had just started homeschooling our son due to his health issues when I got a call from a social worker, and she needed to come meet with us. Then, in front of my son, she started interrogating me for negligence. Apparently, I didn't get him in for a routine MRI within their time frame because of an insurance issue, but that's another story. I was told, get the MRI, then it would go away. So I did. And 2 weeks later, I received a letter saying that negligence was on my record for 3 years. Negligent. Me. I had given up everything to take care of my children. I felt totally alone.
I cried all the way across country. Next thing you know, we're living in California. Let me tell you, California is nothing like Virginia. I didn't fit in at all. Plus, I was getting even worse. I was so alone. But believe it or not, getting sick again helped me. I got so close with my mom, she became my best friend because I really had no one else. She was the only thing I had left of my home of Virginia. I started telling her everything. I talked to her whenever I was feeling down or depressed, and she helped me through it.
I hate this disease. You know, sometimes I think it would be easier to have a cancer diagnosis, straightforward.
I found a Lyme doctor in California, and I got put on a PICC line for 5 months this time. As difficult as it was, I knew it was the only answer. And today, I'm alive, healthy, working in the city, living with my family, and I've even made some new friends. I've been blogging about my journey since 2011, and I have over 7,000 followers. They've gotten to see me grow and go through all these struggles.
I don't understand why this has happened to my family. But Michaela put it perfectly. She said simply,
Mom, you don't have to understand. You just have to love.
and I do.
There is one thing that Deep said to me that helps me get through every day. He'd say, Michaelan, you are not a delicate flower.
And he's right.